पादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद आनंद लीलामय विग्रहाय हेमांब दिव्य विसुंदराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रसप्रदाय चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते नित्यानंदो अवधूतेन्दुर्वसुधा प्राणवल्लभा जानवा जीवितपति कृष्ण प्रेम प्रद प्रभुः पद्मावती सुता श्रीमान सचीनंदन पूर्वजा भवोन्मत्ता जगत्त्राता रक्तगौरा कलेवरः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरम् हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So a warm welcome to all of you for this wonderful session once again after a long time. Um, Science of Bhakti Yoga. So Science of Bhakti Yoga, this is part 7. So today we will discuss one important qualities and characteristic of a personality from Srimad Bhagavatam. So let's go through a series of understanding about this wonderful pastime of a small boy, the boy who saw Lord Vishnu. So this wonderful story. See, Bhagavatam is explaining this wonderful, the pastimes not for a time pass. It's a pastime. For time pass is what the novels and all things what you get, Harry Potter, like that. So the Bhagavatam, every pastimes of Bhagavatam, every personality's life's achievement in Bhagavatam, it is a learning for us. It is a uh, uh, exemplary in actions, exemplary in the in every aspects. So we should not take it lightly. Oh, I know Dhruva story. I know Prahlad story. What is this Prabhu is going to speak about? I know this. So we are not talking about the story. We are talking about the attitude of these various personalities. Because there are so many the pastimes are there in Bhagavatam. We all know the stories, but we don't know what is the amazing insights behind its story. What is the relationship? What is the success story? What is the real success of that story? That we have to understand through constant churning of the pastime. When you constantly churn that pastime in your intellect, then the so many wonderful qualities will come out. So, so let's do a probably 2 or 3 sessions on this Dhruva Maharaj's pastime. It is very wonderful from Srimad Bhagavatam, and as and when we will take furthermore the pastimes of different devotees. So, basically in Dhruva Maharaj's pastime, there's a wonderful teaching for all of us that how our relationship should be in our life. Wife relationship, husband relationship, parents relationship, children relationship, friends relationship, colleagues relationship, neighbors relationship, relatives relationship. So how we should really have this wonderful relationship, because they say that earthen pot, once it is broken, it is not reusable. So even we may manage to put all the broken pieces together, but still earthen pot, a broken earthen pot is a broken earthen pot. There may be leak. There may be, you have to handle it more than any other pot. Similarly, relationship is also like that. It's like a pot. So if you're insensitive to the dealings which you have with your wife, if you're insensitive with the dealing which you have with your husband, with the insensitive, with the dealing with have with the children or your parents, it would break. It will lead to break, just like this pot breaks. And whatsoever you may manage to put the broken pieces, it's broken forever. When the heart is broken, someone's heart is broken and is beyond repair. Very difficult. Unless until he is a Parivrajakacharya, Paramahamsa. You will not take anything to his heart. So here we have to understand the dynamics of relationship in our family life, in our social life, through such a wonderful pastimes which has been explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Because sometimes externally we see the things, just like in the receptionist, go to any hospital, go to any place, there's receptionist who nicely receives you, who nicely smiles at you, nicely attends to you. Then you'll feel, oh, this is wonderful place for me. But is it really they're doing for the with heart and soul they're doing? No. Or if you go to the air hostess, you go to the if you are traveled in flights, they're a air hostess. They tell so much that they smile at you, they bring whatever, they serve you whatever you want and do everything. But are they doing from their heart? Are they doing from their soul that, oh, I have to serve this man. This is my duty. They serve like as if Guru and Shishya is serving without any returns. But we know what is the inside, the real purpose of they're doing. So the whole PR value in external world, the whole PR value is what make uh, a show. No, I can't become like a Ambrish Maharaj. I can't become like a Dhruva Maharaj. I can't become like a Prahlad Maharaj. I can't become like a Ranti Deva. I can't become like a Yayati or anyone like that, great devotees. So let me simply act in such a way that show off. Uh, so this personality ethics has become so much now than a character ethics. So bhakti is all about to develop that character ethics, not simply a personality ethics. Personality ethics means how you look, how you behave, how you act. Oh, the devotee is very nice. Oh, devotee is very great. He always be smiling. Many devotees tell me, and maybe in my nature. Oh, that the Kulashekar Prabhu always he smiles, always those things, all those things. So it may be a personality ethics, not be it may be not character ethics. So externally we may showcase many things, but what important is the character ethics is what we have to learn in our life. We have to develop that in our life. Character ethics. And he is a real leader. He is a real sadhaka. Like now book distribution has come up. You all have to do book distribution. I request all of you who are here listening now to please register yourself, be in some group, get into the process, go to every house, knock the door, get the humiliation, get the chastisement, get all the scoldings and all the humiliation, and that is your achievement. That is your salary, spiritual salary. Because just imagine you're doing there, going to someone's house to help that soul, and they humiliate you, they chastise you for no purpose, for no reason. They close the door and they scold you and all those things. And that is that we can't take it. That we can't take it. But when you take it, then you can see Krishna. Similarly, here, when Dhruva Maharaj is unable to take his own stepmother's words, he has had so much determination that he wanted to achieve the success. He wanted to achieve the success of getting not his father's lab, is a whole Brahma's father, his father's grandfather, Brahma's position he wanted. So please understand here. So very difficult to take those humiliations. The Bhakti Yoga is only to develop your character. That's what Suruchi, Dhruvamara's mother, sorry, Suniti, Dhruvamara's mother, Suniti, is telling Dhruva Maharaj how a person's character should be built, not simply a personality. That is a real nature, real quality of a mother. That how we should bring up our children. We should build their character, and that is more heartening. That is more connective. That is more realistic than simply external personality ethics. It generally happens, isn't it? When all you meet, there will be your in-laws. There will be in-laws. They will be there. You are gone to the in-laws' house. Externally, you have to smile. Hi, boy. Everything is good. But we know we don't like them. We don't want to be with them. Or someone who want we don't want in their office, in our workplace. So we hate them, we envy them because they are progressing, they are getting a lot of appraisals, things like that. So in front of them, we just show off. But what is inside is something different. So we have to understand that we have to be realistic. So Bhagavatam helps us to, not only makes us successful in this material world and spiritual world, but also Bhagavatam also teaches and makes us learn how to deal with the failures, not simply a success. So Bhagavatam teaches how to even deal with the failures, because life as such, it offers both, isn't it? Failures and success. But be realistic, how you have to take it, how you have to deal it. That Bhagavatam gives. So the different ways of the dealing setbacks, emotionally, we may outburst, we may cry, we may speak to someone else to soothe ourselves. We may go into get into some intoxicants, or we may sleep more or eat more to forget our all the setbacks. So many things are there in our life, which comes in our life. But Bhagavatam very much it teaches us that even the delayed management, is called delayed management. Sometimes Krishna has to wait for to kill Kamsa for 15, 16 years. Krishna has to wait. Krishna did not immediately born immediately. He did not crawl himself and went to the Mathura and killed Kamsa. Or even when Rama has to wait during the search of Sita Devi, 4 months he was there in just because it was rainy season. And Sugriva said that after rainy season, we will go ahead and search for after the killing of Vali and everything. So Sugriva says, thank you for all those things. And definitely, I will send all of the Vanara Sainya in search of Mother Sita after the rainy season. And after the rainy season also, he forgot. Then Rama got really was strong on that. And then Sugriva got back to senses and then started working on that. So he waited. Sometimes a delayed management is what we have to look for. Because every problem doesn't has to be solved. Every problem doesn't has to be solved. Every problem doesn't have to, well, some problems has to be tolerated. So that is what scriptures teaches us. Because you start solving every damn problem, and you'll not be having a peace of mind. Because this world is not that easy that you just think and things would happen. So we all know the story of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj was a son of Uttanapada and Suniti. So Uttanapada has two wives, Suniti and Suruchi. Suniti was the elder wife. Suruchi was the younger wife, second wife. And from the elder wives, Suniti, the Uttanapada had got his son Dhruva. And from the second wife, Suruchi, so he had got one more son by name Uttama. So Dhruva and Uttama were both brothers, not from the same father, having the same father. So we all know this when, when Uttama was playing on the lap of his father Uttanapada. Dhruva also sees that. And Dhruva also wanted to be on the father's lap. And and what happened? Suruchi, who was there next to Uttanapada, then when she saw that that Dhruva was nearing Uttanapada to sit on the lap, then immediately so Suruchi with her harsh words, so she spoke some harsh words, and Uttanapada also he neglected. He did not talk even a word. And this wounded a lot. This wounded Dhruva's heart a lot because he was born a Kshatriya, just 5 years old boy. And he left home, went to the forest, and wanted to fulfill his ambition. So that we have to analyze each and every aspect into it. How there is a kind of different kind of emotions in different person, and that will get into this. And later also we see how Dhruva Maharaja, when he grew up and all those things, his brother Uttama was being killed by Yakshas, and how he wanted to wage a war against Yakshas to defeat the Yakshas. And practically he defeated Yakshas in there was a fierce battle, and how Swayambhu Manu comes to Dhruva and requests him to stop the war. So there's a lot of great lessons which are there in this. There's a lot of life lessons which I can get into just simply this wonderful pastime. So we have to see there's a lot of insights here, the relationship between the wife and husband, how it should be, a relationship between the parents and children, how it should be, a relationship between the elders and the colleagues, how it should be. All those things are wonderfully explained in this one pastime. So Dhruva was, when he went to Suniti, and explained about his whole thing. Then Suniti, she explained, she started preaching Dhruva in many ways. So let's dive more deep into this, that how to develop a relationship as a devotee in our family, in our community, in our society, so that we can have a wonderful atmosphere around us, because it is in our hands to create heaven around us. We have the power to create heaven around us or a hell around us. It is up to us. So when we talk something with someone, so we should always speak with the pleasant words, pleasing words. That is the nature of a devotee. That is very much important. So when Suruchi, with her harsh words, she's scolding Dhruva, saying that you have no right to sit on your father's lap. And that was like a razor's edge, cutting his heart into two pieces for Dhruva. Because he had a tender heart, he could not take up this. What was the wrong? And he is saying, why you are forbidding me? I just wanted to sit on my father's lap, not on father's throne. And just like my brother is playing on a father's side, it is my I also have uh, uh, you know uh, I can also sit on the father's lap. So what problem, what mistake I have done? Equally, how my brother is equally is seated there, equally I also have opportunity to enjoy with my father. So very much important. We have to see here when Suruchi. So then Suruchi, she says what she says. She says, although you may be a son of the same king, but you cannot sit on the lap of of your father, because you are not born of me. And if you are, because you have taken birth in someone's womb, some other womb, that's why you don't have the right to sit on your father's lap. So please, we have to understand, sometimes when we speak to our children, it may be, we have to very carefully we have to talk, because words can make up relationship and words can break up relationship. Because when the children are children, we can speak anything and they're okay with it. But when children become elders, become older, so you have to be very careful in what we speak, because they take it so much to their heart. Just imagine you have all children, all of your children. And now they're all there with you, and they've taken your shelter, and they are there. Their studies and their things are going, things like that. You can say, "Hey, you fool, you rascal! Yeah, you can't understand. You can beat him and you can talk and everything." But when he gets married, when he has his own children and his own family, then you say, "Hey, you fool, you rascal!" Like that. You can't talk, right? Or you can't beat him, right? So that time the parents has to be very carefully be selecting what kind of words we have to use. Otherwise, it will break our relationship. So they say no insensitive words, there's insensitive speech. If it's insensitive speech, if there is a words, if you just add yes to it, it becomes a sword, right? So word can become a sword if you use the insensitive speech, insensitive words. So you have to understand in the same say under the same roof, there's a two contrasting personalities here. One is Suruchi's personality, one is Suniti's personality. Because as a child, as a Dhruva, see, we might have seen that how Hiranyakashipu did tapasya to get Brahma, or some other Asura doing tapasya to get Shiva. Or can you give me any example of a child doing tapasya to get material profits? Even the Kamsa or Hiranyakashipu or any demon, they also wanted material profits, material happiness, material. They want to be the top of everyone. They want to rule the whole world. Same mood also, same mood Dhruva had, but he was approaching Vishnu. Here you have to understand an important thing. Anything you approach Vishnu, it always purifies you. There is no Asura going to Vishnu, praying for Vishnu for material benefits, and he gets the material benefits. No, hardly I've not come across anyone like that. So if you go to Vishnu, Yena Kena Prakarena Mana Krishne Nivesayat. So Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, Rupa Goswami very beautiful say, Yena Kena Prakarena Mana Krishna Nivesayat. Somehow or the other, you should be always thinking about Krishna. That should be the goal of Krishna consciousness. When gopis were very lusty of Krishna because he was a very beautiful boy, they want to kiss him, not have a sexual appetite. That is different because that is a young boy and he was just 11 years old. They want to kiss him, young boy, as a whatever it is, as a son, as a relative. They want to kiss him. They want to hug him. Just like the parents hug their children or some relatives hug someone's children. So it is out of they want to hug Krishna and want to kiss Krishna. So then their lust was purified. And Kamsa wanted to kill Krishna, and Putana wanted to kill Krishna, and what is his name? And he was to always chastising Krishna. And in this way, we have to understand Shishupal was always chastising Krishna, but everyone got their mukti. So they're all purified in one sense. So here, as a childhood, Dhruva was so innocent. So he didn't had any difference between the Suniti or Suruchi, stepmother, my mother. He didn't have any differences as a 5 years old boy. Because both were the wives of Uttanapada, but Uttanapada had a special relationship or a special love for his second wife. That was his treatment. And that was very much visible everywhere. Everyone knew that. But child didn't knew all those things. So Suniti character was such a great that even though she was so much deprived from her husband's love, but she was so much tolerant, she was so much soft-hearted. More importantly, she was a great devotee of Krishna. So we have to understand how the devotee of Krishna, what their etiquette should be, how they should behave. It's not simply a stories to listen during our bedtime. No, these stories are meant to make us learn and understand, put into practice, and become like them, following the footsteps. So Suruchi was here on the other hand. Suruchi was very much proud. The second wife, she was very much proud, and she was so much oppressive that because she knew that definitely tomorrow Dhruva would take the inheritance of his father's throne, whereas Uttama was born later. She know that. So Shuruchi, right from the childhood, she was putting the kida, putting that. She wanted to make sure that Dhruva will not sit on the throne. Now slowly, through his mind, through his mentally, you make him mad and completely bereft, and he will leave the this thing and he will go. That's what she also wanted, right? That's why she's saying that you go if you want. You go to Vishnu and pray. Go to the forest. Go. Don't worry. There you will be dead, and my Uttama, my some son, will be sitting on the throne. So Dhruva, this is very much important. Right from the boyhood, she wanted to make him sure that Dhruva would leave the home and go. So generally, it also happens in our life that envy, that kind of envy, which we also gets into our relationships when we do devotional service, or when you're in the family, in your in-laws, or things like that. Many times this envy will come in the work life. Then so much envy would come up because you're all equals, everything is same, and then we start envying them. So he cannot tolerate someone's progress. He cannot tolerate someone's glories, to hear someone's glories. And generally we want to pull down, put others down, and want to stand above and say that I'm the better off, the best. So this is envy nature is there everywhere. Don't think it is not there here. It's there everywhere. You are only in Vaikuntha, Vigataha Kuntaha. Only the envy is not there in spiritual world. That's all. But very importantly, we have to understand that when such kind of envy just creeps into our heart, then our ego, the envy is a friend of ego. So envy gives protection to the ego and makes the ego to grow very harder, thick wall. And so that so many things, classes will go inside the ears and you hear, and you get some motivation, inspiration, and you so many things you start hearing, seeing, but nothing will go to your heart because there's a thick wall of envy and ego which is surrounding it. There's no heart transformation. Simply classes going on and we are simply listening. Days are going on and there's no even an iota of change in my life doesn't come about. So we have to understand this that it all comes because of I and mine. Generally, so happens whenever some grahasthas, whenever some brahmacharis get married, then they have their wives, and their wives. It so happens and they see other grahastha's wife and they see that grahastha is nicely singing. What is problem for you? You should also nicely sing. No, you should also learn this one. No, they see that Prabhuji is nicely doing all those things. Why you are not doing this? And she will be thinking, what is this? I was so nice in the brahmacharya ashram. Why did I marry? Why these things are coming about? So this slowly it creeps in everyone's heart unless and until if you don't have this sense of oneness and a good relationship among our circle. So here Uttanapada was very much henpecked and he was just following what Suruchi was telling. And see, Uttanapada was basically was a king and he was supposed to treat every citizen equally, right? And similarly, father is supposed to treat every children equally. So here the Uttanapada was a father, Uttanapada was a husband, Uttanapada was a king and everything. But he terribly failed in fulfilling his responsibility here. Because why? Because he was overly attached to his second wife, Suruchi. And because of that, he neglected his all responsibilities. Similarly, in our spiritual life, when we start attaching ourselves to some person, oh, this Prabhu I like very much. I should be with him. Oh, he is very great Prabhu. No, we should get attached to only Guru and Krishna. That is only our relationship. No one else. Our system doesn't teach us to get attached to some personality. Yes, you should get attached to his good qualities, not to a person as such. And that is most detrimental to you and to the other person also. It's very much important that the king was Uttanapada. Uttanapada was a great king. They're all spiritualists. Basically, Kamsa himself was a spiritualist spoke about big philosophy to Devaki and Vasudeva after when he got to know that the seventh child, eighth child is born somewhere else, that Durga says, and after that he releases them. Big, there's a lot of philosophy and things like that. And Hiranyakashipu, in fact, speaks a lot of philosophy to pacify his mother, Diti. Because after the Hiranyakashipu was killed, and a lot of philosophy says, we are like, we are the human, we were all engaged in this body, and just like we all sit in this restaurant and we see each other's face, but we eat after we finish our job in restaurant, we all get up and go. Similarly, materialists like that. So much big philosophy. Similarly, here Uttanapada was also a spiritualist. He knew everything in and out. And as a king, as a father, as a husband, his responsibility was he has to properly do, because the subjects and all the people, all the soldiers around that, and all the servants around him, and everyone they're seeing, they started speaking, and they put out that this king is like that, and he himself is bringing down his position, isn't it? But he was so much attached to his second wife. Just imagine. And that's what a small boy, he was a boy. How can you neglect him? Just imagine the kind of attachment he had. His own son he is neglecting. And he was not Asura. He was a great devotee also. So consciously, here Suniti is consciously, she wanted to victimize the Dhruva, saying that you are not qualified. So it's all because of Uttanapan's attachment to his wife. So we have, so very much important. Sometimes when you get attached to someone, we become so much obliged to them, and actually we will not be able to speak out. Our relationship becomes very much weaker. Sometimes that's why you should not take any favors from anyone. You should, someone gives you some food to your house, and you should also call sometime someone else to the food. Please come and have prasadam. Or someone gives you some gift to you, you should also give someone a gift. That's what they do. No, in some marriages and all, when we were small children, and there used to be our relatives used to get married, we used to be there, and they used to have a book in the behind that reception and all those things. One boy and girl used to be sitting, and someone used to say, this person has given so much. This person has given so much. This person has given, and muiga mui, they used to say. And after that, whenever their program is to be there, they'll go and give that, whatever that is. So what happens when we have started favorism? When you start favoring someone, then you get succumbed to their attachment. You get attached and you go obliged. And sometimes we'll not be able to speak bad about them. So not bad means you're not able to correct them, or you're not able to really yeah, so if they're doing something wrong, you're not able to really tell to them. So yeah, the heart becomes very weak. So we lose all the discrimination. So very much important, when the person loses all the discrimination, then very difficult to have a good relationship. So here we have to understand our dealings with our younger children should be very much proper, because when we are speaking to them, and because their mindset has been shaping them now and then. So we should be very much careful in how we talk, speak, because husband, wife, when talking also, the little shouting, fighting, screaming, the children are all looking at this. As I said, it's all sensitively they're grabbing all those things. So we should be very careful in, see, that's what the Chanakya Pandita, why Chanakya Pandita says that if husband and wife are very peaceful, happy, joyfully living together, Lakshmi resides there. That's what the Chanakya Pandita says in Niti Shastra. So here, Suruchi, with her harsh word, she is trying to bring down the position of Dhruva here. So, and insensitive behavior, sometimes when we do it to our elders also, very difficult. Our old people and our father, mother, and all those things, very much, very difficult. See, it is a science. We have to learn this. It is an art. Just like art of parenting, similarly, it is art of taking care of our elders. Because there's a deep negative impression which we create in either the children or elders. So we are, as a responsible the devotees, we should be very much take care of our emotions. Else we should make a relationship very healthy, Else, our whole life we may be chanting and doing all those things, but our surroundings is very, very bad. It is not very suitable, conducive to for us to grow. Yesterday I was telling one story. One man saw his neighbor's garden was so nicely grown. So similarly, he also wanted to grow the front part of his house with all the nice garden, nice flowers and things like that. So he went to his neighbor and he asked, "Sir, where did you get all the seeds from?" So then he get the address and everything details, and he goes to that place and he gets all the good seeds, best of the best seeds, and he comes back and he just throws around his the land everything, and 1 week over, 2 week over, 3 week over, and he's not seeing any plants coming up. Then he goes again back to the neighbor and he says that, hey, that you gave the address to get the seeds from this place, I got the seeds from that place, and the same variety, same thing, and I got to my place back, and I sprinkled all the seeds, but nothing is coming out. The neighbor was little perplexed, and he came and he said, "Let me go and see. Let me see." So then, when the neighbor saw that the seeds was just driven, seeds was all thrown on the cement, on the tiles, on the floorings, on the steps, how the seeds would grow? So isn't it, for a seed has to grow, there should be a proper ground. Then you should now properly manure the ground. Nicely, you should manure nicely to mulching. When you do a lot of mulching and make the soil very soft, then you put the seeds. Then you start watering it, and over a period of time, it grows. Similarly, Bhakti Lata Bija is like that. So favorable environment you have to create around us. If there is no favorable environment around us, very difficult to practice bhakti or advance in sadhana. So similarly, we got chanting. See, we got wonderful the techniques: chanting, reading, association, kirtan, and the festivals and whatnot. We have wonderful everything. We have all the ammunitions to fight against Maya, but we are not become strong enough to fight. We have got all the munitions, but we don't have the strength, internal courage, internal will to fight. That's what many years passes off, and you'll be same person. So the internal will, internal strength will come when you have the, no, that's what Prabhupada starts with the no intoxication, no meeting, no gambling, no illicit sex. So all those things Prabhupada says why these are the four regulatory principles everyone has to follow. Austerities means what? You should control your senses. So when you get the mobile, the researchers have made so much that the algorithms of a mobile in any social media is so that it gives only what you wanted. And you see just swiping and the time passes off and there's just like a kind of addiction, isn't it? You don't have to drink. Actually, the Prabhupada says, this Maya has find different ways to enter the human civilization. And his mobile is such a thing, all the four regulatory principles can be broken in just this one mobile. So we have to understand very much, we should be very careful that unless and until if you don't create a good environment around you, your chanting, reading, all those things, that seed of this bhakti can't grow. It is just on like a concrete. It is there, lying there. It may take probably many months or so when that seed somehow by the wind it will go and join the mud. So a few of the kind of the Manusharam Sahasreshu, few of those kind, then some rain will come, a few will grow, and here and there, that is not called as a garden. So here and there, one flower will be grown, is all hazy, isn't it? So I should be very much careful in that. So here, Suniti was Suruchi. Suruchi was very much jealousy of Suniti. And Dhruva, when he wanted to sit on the father's lap, and she didn't want to fulfill that. So what she said that if you really want to sit on your father's lap, and you should be born in my womb. So now you should go to the forest, go and worship Lord Vishnu, and get a boon that you'll be born as a son in my womb in your next life, and then you have the privilege to go and sit on the father's lap. Just imagine the pride and envy she has. So she considered herself to be superior to anyone else. Uh, that anyone who is born in my womb will be qualified to sit on the father's lap, king's lap. So she considered taking birth from the womb to be a great privilege, isn't it? See, you can see here. To be born in a certain this thing to she is thinking it is a privilege. And for that you require a boon to boon from the Lord Vishnu. Basically, what it says, all the scriptures say that if worshipping Lord Vishnu, one will be completely free from the repetition of birth and death. But here, that lady is saying she is so foolish. Worshipping Vishnu, you'll be completely free from all the births and deaths, repeated cycle of births and deaths. But she is telling, go and worship the Lord Vishnu so that you will be born in my womb. So we have to understand here why she is using Lord Vishnu to take birth in the womb of such an arrogant woman. The Lord Vishnu will be very much happy that a devotee who is worshipping that he'll be born in that arrogant woman's womb. Definitely not right. So she recommends Dhruva to worship Lord Vishnu. Doesn't mean that she was a devotee of Lord Vishnu. She made such statement to impress Uttanapada, because she was very pretending. She was pretending that I am your, not only I am very beautiful, young and beautiful, but also I am very great devotee also. I am very spiritually also inclined. So that Uttanapada should get the impression right. So it's hypocrisy there. So we have to, that's what she is saying, go and worship Lord Vishnu. So Suruchi was very much envious of Suniti, and now she was, yeah, that her envy is now directed towards the Dhruva. And that is the nature of envy. Envy is very contagious. It is a contagious disease. Just like Suruchi had envious of Suniti, her enviousness was further directed to Dhruva. And because he was angry at Suruchi and is angry further directed towards Uttana, his brother, because of envy. So we have to understand envy is such a contagious that it'll trap the person who is trying to trap in the same net, who is trying to catch. The person also will be in the same net. He'll be trapped. The envy is very much contagious. And here what happened? Uttanapada was very much silent. We all know this. And basically we should, father should, how can he tolerate that? But such kind of father, he tolerated the misbehavior of his wife. And how could a king be so silent, so ignorant? Is injustice right? As a king, and he did not say any word and do anything to stop Suruchi. And it was such a great hurt for the such a 5 years old tender heart. And neither he welcomed, okay, further, okay, Suruchi, so you have done the wrong thing. He might have not told, not chastised his wife. But at least he could have told Dhruva, don't worry, please come. You also said that he could have done. That also he did not do. He did not even console the Dhruva. He was such a keeping quiet, like a dumb stone, turning a blind eye to this thing. So very much important. What you have to see here is, see, when we see something, when we see something, someone is doing wrong thing, we should not ignore the responsibility of a Vaishnava. Responsibility, duty of a devotee is to, he should not ignore such kind of behavior or such kind of wrongdoing. Because if you do that, you will also be part of that irresponsibleness. So if you start observing the irresponsible acts, and not answering, you've done a blind eye to it, then even despite you have the ability to even stop that or um, chastise it, any wrong action of someone, despite you having all the abilities, then you also be part of that irresponsibility. You are the part of that sin. So even so very much important in our spiritual life, in our duty, all those things. Oh, ಅವ್ರೇನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ ನಮ್ಗೇನಾಗ್ಬೇಕು. Many people they think like this. In Kannada they say, why we want, let them do whatever they want. We don't want to get into that. But when you have the power, when you have the power to open your mouth and you have to tell that you are doing wrong, this is not right. Your idea, your attitude, your quality is not good. Your character is not good. When he has the ability to go and really correct him, because we will think, oh, our relationship will break. Second thing, we will think, why to get some enemies? Let them do. It's not my job. So Vaishnava duty is also important, that he should not ignore his responsibilities. So similarly, we have to hear Uttanapada is responsible his own responsibilities. Because unless until you feel the Krishna consciousness is yours, this temple is yours, Radha Krishnandra is yours, you don't feel that something even worst wrong is going on. Why I have to worry? Because I'm not related to it. But when you start relating to Radha Krishna temple and things like that, you feel, oh, something wrong is well. Let me go and help in correcting that. And some devotee, they will be coming there and some discussion will be happening, some prajalpa will be happening, some nonsense talks will be happening. Then you should tell, this is not the good mood of doing things in coming temple. So Suruchi here, she felt very much confident by her husband's action, that husband is very much favorable to her. She did not talk, nor husband consoled her, the Dhruva. So she was very happy. So very much important, we have to keep in mind that many times it so happens when someone is there next to us, we become very proudful. Oh, this Prabhuji I know very well, and we are together. Or just imagine, sometimes it so happens. So there's a Madhu Pandit Prabhu. So next to Madhu Pandit Prabhu, there'll be some devotees very close to them and do all the activities and all those things. Many a times it invokes a pride in them. Many a times, because I am better off from someone else. So generally, we may start looking down upon someone who doesn't have such privileges. And similarly, here Suruchi is also doing the same thing, because he's next to the king. She has all the powers to do, and she got more, confirmation, more confidence, because Uttanapada is favoring her. See, every small detail of this, we can learn so many things, right? So we have to be very careful when, as and when you progress in spiritual life and spend so many years in life and all those things, and you have achieved many things, we started looking down upon our juniors, our someone else. Actually, I will tell you, if you want to get encouragement, if you want to get enthusiasm in your life, learn from your juniors, because they have more fire, they have more attention, they have more the passion to take up this process. Because initially we were also, but over a period of time, because of the Maya's effect, because of the become very complacent in our process, and we might not have lost that the thrust. But more than you want to learn from your seniors, I would generally say to learn from the juniors, because along with your learning from juniors, the humility also joins along with it. Because generally no one wants to learn from the junior. "Ah, I know this, what you know, I will teach you." Things would come. So here, Suruchi's harsh words, I will end in next 5 minutes. So Suruchi's here harsh words was so much, and and Dhruva had a very delicate heart, was just 65 years old, and Uttanapada was so silent, and all the people in the palace, all the servants, all the ministers, everyone, or residents of the palace were all keeping silent, and they were not doing anything. So the Dhruva was thoroughly mistreated. Thoroughly, he was humiliated, and no one dared to even come and pacify him. So many times we have to understand, it so happens that sometimes some painful moments which come in our life, and there'll be no one to console us during those distressful situation. So such times may come in our life, where we have now friends, we have colleagues, we have relatives, we have so many people around us. But there'll be some tough moments which may come in our life, painful moments in our lives. Then no one would come to console us, just like Dhruva Maharaj. No one came to console him, his own family, his own people. And he has to go to his mother and go and cry at her. Similarly, we have to go to Krishna and cry to Krishna. No one will come and console us. Forget about solving the problem. So Dhruva is experiencing a sense of loneliness here when you see into this. So he is in such a great royal family, and he has all the facilities. He has all the servants, soldiers, all the opulence, comforts. Huh? But still, no one is fulfilling his heart's pain. No one is solving his heart's pain. No one is consoling his heart's distress, suffering. Such a thing, right? So we may have everything in our life, but really the satisfaction comes only when we go to the Lord and just put out all the pains and sufferings in front of Him. Nothing else we can do because no one can really help. So he was completely shattered by his stepmother's reaction, harsh words, and disappointment from his father's silence. And he was in great anger, just like the Bhagavatam says, he was like a hissing the cobra. He could not tolerate the insult because the Kshatriya blood was there in his body, was flowing in his body. So immediately the Dhruva, 5 years old boy, he became so angry, and Dhruva ran to his mother, Suniti. So we have to understand very importantly that first and foremost, that when we are speaking anything to anyone, please, even though it may be distasteful or very difficult, speak in a pleasantful words, pleasing words, because happy is free of cost, isn't it? Happy is not something which you can purchase. So please understand that the happy is free of cost and we have to use it freely. So don't speak something immediately. Don't react, respond. You should not react, you should respond. And you should speak sweetly because there's a spur of moment where you get lusty. You spur of moment, you become angry. Spur of moment, you become envy. Spur of moment, become what's not. Immediately, you'll get disturbed. God, so we have to make our whole training is to make sure in that spur of moment we don't take bad decisions or worse decisions or disturbing the decisions which you take which only disturb spoils you. Such kind of decisions you should not take. So you should not speak words and you should not speak immediately. Wait for a time. Control. Sometimes time as a time management, as I said, delayed management itself, the time gives an answer for my is a solution for my problems. So when you envy others for what they have, so you forget. Generally, they say that when you envy someone other for what they have, but that all happens because you forget what you have. So envy is such a thing that it makes you forget what you have. And it always thinks about what you don't have. So have gratitude and greatness to what you have. And rather than why forgetting my thing, what we have, so why to simply envy someone else for what I don't have? So this pride and envy is really great enemies to us, and we should be properly, very carefully, should be dealing with those things because anytime things would come about and we may fail to act properly. So and also we should not look down upon someone else because we have some good position or good privileges in our life. Should never look down upon, whether it may be social status, whether it may be spiritual status, whatever it is. Should not look down upon anyone else because we have some special status or privileges. So should not ignore our responsibilities, and but rather we should protect our dependents even at any cost. So we should really that's what I'm saying. If you're so much close to someone and you are obliged to that, you may fail to do your duty because even though you may be doing something wrong, then if you're doing that, then you're also part of that wrong. You are the part of that sin. So having said this, thank you all for your patientful hearing. Anyone has any questions, we can take it forward. Else, we can next class, next sessions, we can further move ahead of how what all the advice Suniti gave to her son, and further how Dhruva he took it and to his heart, all the three advices, and further he goes to the forest and meets Narada. And what was Narada's advice was amazing advice. So Suniti's advice, Narada's advice, amazing. So, and furthermore, we will discuss more into that, dive deep into this subject. And anyone has any questions, we can discuss. Else, we can end the
Prabhu, Hare
session.
Krishna.
Hmm.
ಪ್ರಭು, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ವೀಕ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಚಾರಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ರಿವರ್ ಇದಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಪ್ರಭು?
Hmm.
ಅದ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಪ್ರಭು ಅದು? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಗೃಹಸ್ಥ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಕೃಷ್ಣ?
No. So Krishna is Anadi Brahmacharine Namaha. That's one of the name of Krishna is Anadi Brahmacharine. So even though Krishna is a grahastha, he led the life of a grahastha, having wife and children. He was not a grahastha. He was completely, he was Name Karmani Limpanti, Name Karma Pale Spruhaha. Krishna himself, he says in Bhagavad Gita, is not been under the preview or the circle of karma. Name karma limpanti, name karma spruhaha. So many places Krishna says that our relationship with our wife and children or family is because of our karma. Because we have given some happiness to someone or distress to someone, they have come to in our life and giving problems to us or enjoyment to us in this life. So Krishna is not bound by such kind of karma. He is completely free from this three modes of material nature. And here Krishna is coming to this material world to just show how a ideal grahastha should lead his life. Doesn't mean Krishna is part of this material world. Krishna is beyond this material world. He is never of this material world. So even this is basically to show that even the soul, as just like it is said that the drop of oil in the ocean is not, it doesn't get afraid of the ocean and becomes one with the ocean. Even the drop of oil remains like a drop of oil in the ocean. Similarly, we are in the material, atmanam trigunatmakam. So even material world, we may have come to this material world, is only because our relationship, our attraction, affections to this material body and material world is that what we are grounded to this material world. Otherwise, just like Prabhupada gives example of the, even if CM or PM or the crime minister, what is that, some minister, home minister, if he goes to jail, it doesn't mean he has done some crime. He goes to jail to take care of the people and have things to check things like that. He has all the freedom to go whenever he want, he come whenever outside he want. Doesn't mean he is a prisoner there. So similarly, Lord, when he is taking, he is always brahmachari, means is always completely free from all this attraction, affections of this grahastha life. So he is always completely, he is beyond this matter. Satchidananda Vigraha. He is beyond this matter. Not like we have attraction, affections, and things to this material world. He doesn't has anything of that sort. So Lord is always transcendental, and so he's beyond this material world, and that's how we have to understand that he is not like, what we understand. Okay, thank you all so much. Srila Prabhupada ki
Thank you.
jai. Nitai Gaur
Hare Krishna,
Premanande.
Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.